All right, we're going to put a little bit of shrubbery in to the sides. And we're going to use the scruffy. You could use the sponge, but let's stick with the scruffy brush for this. Putting out some thicket, which is giving me a trial. I should have had it stood on its head to keep the paint down there. And some classic green, because that's the two greens that come in this set. But they're good. This one's a medium green, that's a darker green. Now, if I want this to be a bit darker, I showed you before how I went in with a little bit of black and mixed it to make it deepen that color for the undercoat, especially at the base where it's going to be very dark. And that just gives you that darker green color. I'm going to use just one side of the scruffy, like this corner. You see how I've got that loaded on there, and I'm going to pounce it off a little bit. See how that's going to do. And that works good for me. So I am going to come along the base, pounce it in there. I'm moving my brush, so I'm not just getting a one type of line. I reload as needed. And I just bring some in here, come up a little bit, come up a little bit. Some areas will be higher than others. Bring it along here, alongside the barn, under those trees, on the snow. Gonna bring that up a little bit, bring it up, mound it. Be careful you're not getting too far down. If you need to wipe out your brush, do so. And I want to bring it down, have it come up, come it down right there. Now turn the brush, this part that has the majority of the paint, down this way so I can get down at the base. Good. Now I'm going into, I didn't clean my brush, I'm going into the thicket. And I'm going to be very careful because I've got it all over the brush. I did not wipe it out, and I'm staying towards the top. I'm going to come up a little bit. And just hit that along there. And I'll do the same over here. Hit this. And then I am going to wipe the brush out this time because I don't want to get it too messy. I want to go in with the classic green a little bit easier. And just getting it on a little section of it and just hitting a few areas with that lighter green. Now we'll touch it with snow in a bit. Touch it with snow. Dab that out a bit. Make it airier. Okay. So there's some added shrubbery. And we will let that dry. And I think I'll come in and start on the posts. Or I could do the path. Yeah, let's work on the path. So let's start working on our path. So get it up here where it's really in the camera well. So I have the medium gray, wicker white, and the French blue. So I'm going to start with the white on my brush. I'm using the 3/4 inch, that way I can really cover. And I'm going to get some of the medium gray on the edge because, you know, the outer edges are kind of dirty. So we're going to go follow the line, just wiggling in and out. It doesn't have to be perfectly aligned with that side. That was just a guideline. And just pull it on out. So we're going to do the same on the other side. We might get a hint of blue in there, just a hint. And this time I'm going to go this direction. So I'm just going to start going, following what, like it's going to go up to that fence line and then pull it down. The blue's a little stark, but we're going to go over it with some white. Just get it going in there. Now this isn't going to be perfect because the pathways are never perfect, and we're just scrubbing it in there. Scrubbing it loosely. The edge is a little dark. We can go over it with a little bit of white because that gray will still show through. There we go. We want it to blend in like it's just an indication of a path. And the blue gives it kind of an icy look to it. And we'll just maybe have it pool out over there. Muddy water got going there. And just, it's coming along, come along. I didn't have anything down here, so I really didn't know what I was going to go with. Gonna get some more white out. You can make your path as wide or as narrow as you want. Just have it start narrow and start widening as it comes towards you to give it some depth of field there. I'm going to bring some blue in there. We're going to go over this until we diffuse that quite a bit. Go over it with white. Over that dirty snow. As if that was going to go up behind that post. Maybe a little bit up behind this post. Don't get too precious with it. This is just the pathway. Now I'll have it come up just a hair by the door. Looks like it's, there we go. So there we have our dirty path. And if you want to diffuse the gray a little more, you can, but I'm not going to overthink this. So I'm going to take some of this white out here. Use it up. And I'll take some of the white up underneath the bushes. I could do this later, but I just feel like doing it now since I have the white out. And just where that scruffy brush made some little marks in the snow. Now some of that will come through, but it'll just like look like shadow or dirt on the snow, which it all is good. So now I think we can go on and do our fence posts. So over here on my palette, I have the coffee bean. You could also use a burnt umber. And I might prefer burnt umber because it's a little darker brown. In fact, I should probably get out some burnt umber just to show you. Now, this isn't part of the kit, but I would advise you to get a burnt umber because I like the depth of colors. I don't know if it shows up, it probably does, how dark that is. So here's the burnt umber. And we're going to go down the left side of oh dear, got my arm in that. Left side of the posts with the burnt umber. Just choppy strokes with the chisel edge of the brush. This is a wonky, rustic wood, so it's going to look it. And we'll just go along the edge. I don't want to get them, I got my other ones just a little too fat, and I really don't want to do that on this one, but it may happen. I have a tendency to get a little heavy-handed with things. Keep reloading your brush as you need to. And just again, the choppy strokes on the chisel edge. They don't have to line up perfectly. We're just going to chop in some other colors. I'm going to go into the coffee bean and pull that right on and next to that. See, I got that one a little bit wide there, and I didn't want to. I still have my 3/4 inch lying here, and it's damp, so I'm going to pull that up. Just pull it along, pull it along. You might get a little shadowing over into the snow, and that's okay. Okay, so here we'll go along this one. If I want to add a little bit of the burnt umber to the coffee bean, get the two colors blending in there, and it looks very nice. Rustic wood has all kinds of colors in it. And I haven't done the top. You see, the top will come in a bit. Just chop, chop, chop these strokes in here. The two colors together. That one got a little wide, but that's a wonky piece of wood. We're going to go with that. And then this one too. Just bring that down to the base. Let's see, go down a little bit further. We're about the same. The snow can be piling up a little bit higher on some than others. Then I'm going to go in the cinnamon. The cinnamon to add a little touch of brightness right on that edge. Stay within the line of the post. Just chopping it in there, very rustic wood. And then I'm going to go into linen for a final touch of light along this side. It's blending with that cinnamon. You could also use raw sienna for that color. Okay, I'm going to wipe out my brush because I'm going to do the cross pieces in pretty much the same way. So I wiped it out. I'm going to take the burnt umber and I'm going to come across to the edge of that one. Cross pieces might have been better off being first, and then you could have come back over them, but I'm not going to sweat it. This is just what it is, and you just make up the difference in a bit. getting them in there. Just getting some of the lighter wood in there, lighter color for the wood. I'm getting a little sloppy. Being a rustic fence, of course, these aren't going to match up perfectly, or at least that's my excuse. So I'm going to come and blend out those little pieces that are coming in from the angle. Like I said, maybe I should have done the cross pieces first, but as I say, I don't do anything with all that rhyme and reason, particularly. Okay, so they really look like gnarly bits of fencing. So the top of our fences are next. The little circular